Good morning, guys. Good morning. So this is going to be a two-part series titled Sad Reality. Most Jehovah's Witnesses will die believing in a lie. That's a sad reality. And I came to this conclusion because I tend, even though I'm a realist, every once in a while I tend to be an optimist. Every once in a while, right? And I want to be hopeful that, well, I already know that more and more Jehovah's Witnesses will continue to wake up as time passes. I already know that, right? But I want people to wake up by the millions, not by the hundreds, not by the thousands, but I want millions of Jehovah's Witnesses to wake up. I want millions of Jehovah's Witnesses to see the truth about the truth. And it's sad that that's not the case. That's not the reality of this situation. The reality is that, like I said, most Jehovah's Witnesses, the majority of them, will die believing in a lie. A few days ago, I was talking to one of my really good friends in the UK, and we were talking about how corrupt this world is, and how a lot of people, for instance, millionaires, billionaires, people who are wealthy, they don't care about the lower class or the middle class people. The rich care about the rich, but who cares about the poor? And it's the same with the Jehovah's Witnesses. This world is so corrupt. The governing body leaders, they're so corrupt. They have the power. Just like billionaires and millionaires, they have the power to help people in need, to help people in poverty, right? They have the power to do that. But that's not the reality. That's why there's so many homeless people on this planet. And when you think about it, there shouldn't be. With all the millionaires and billionaires out there, you have athletes getting paid $300 million. One of my favorite basketball players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, both of them they both signed $300 million contracts. Meanwhile, there's people out there in the streets starving. Make that make sense. Likewise, the same with the governing body leaders. They have the power to help people in need. And I'm not just talking about financially, I'm talking about spiritually also. They over here, the governing body leaders of Jehovah's Witnesses are misleading good-hearted individuals, good-hearted Jehovah's Witnesses that they just want to make it to paradise. They truly believe that paradise is right around the corner. But you see, the governing body leaders, they're so good at deceiving people. They're so good at selling this lie, this paradise, this carrot that's dangling right before your eyes. It's always right in front of you. They always say the end is right around the corner, right? They will always say that. But meanwhile, it's been nearly 150 years since Jehovah's Witnesses have been patiently waiting for this paradise. Now, the last video I posted, this is this Jehovah's Witness, Mark Jackson on YouTube. I'm sure that's not your real name in real life, but he left some comments on my last video saying how the Jehovah's Witnesses are accurate, they have the right information. He's pretty much standing up. Excuse me, guys. He's pretty much standing up for the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? He's a witness trying to defend his organization, right? And I had to laugh. Because he's leaving comments, watching my videos and leaving comments, sticking up for the Jehovah's Witnesses. Saying, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses are 98% accurate about what they have to say. What they say is 98% accurate. They have the truth. Well, Mark Jackson, I hate to break it to you, buddy. You don't see me going to the Kingdom Halls because I know for a fact Jehovah's Witnesses do not have the truth. So therefore, why would I go to the Kingdom Hall? Likewise, why are you looking at my videos? Why are Jehovah's Witnesses commenting on XJW channels if they supposedly have the truth. If you have the truth, you don't go seeking information elsewhere. If you have the truth, that's how I know that you know deep down inside you don't have the truth, because you would not be looking at my videos. So I find it funny when a Jehovah's Witness leaves comments on video on XJW channels talking about, oh, we have the truth, we have the right information, this is the truth. Then why are you lurking? Why are you watching XJW material if you have the truth? If you're happy in a relationship, you're not gonna go cheat on your spouse, your partner, if you're happy, right? So likewise, if you're happy being a devoted, brainwashed Jehovah's Witness, if you're happy living that life, why are you watching XJW material? It's because deep down inside, you know something is wrong, or else you would not be lurking on other XJW channels. I've done my research. I know it's not the truth. I know it's not the truth. That's why that's why I make my videos. I post content on YouTube, on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, because I want people to know, hey, listen, I'm Jerron Benton, and I know damn well that the Jehovah's Witness organization is not the truth. It's a false, man-made organization. That's why I leave my posts public, so that people can see what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. Because I know that the truth that the Jehovah's Witnesses think they have is far from it, far from the truth. Jehovah's Witnesses do not think they don't think critically. They are not open-minded individuals. Jehovah's Witnesses listen to whatever the governing body leaders have to say. And if you are a Jehovah's Witness watching this video, how do you still believe in your organization when, like I just said, for nearly 150 years, they've been talking the same nonsense? End of the world is right around the corner. Armageddon is going to happen any day now. You've been hearing this for 150 years. All this time, people have been born and raised and died waiting for this paradise. But you see, this is something that the typical Jehovah's Witness will never hear, will never listen to. Because Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't want to hear the truth about the truth. And I find it so ironic because they claim that they have the truth, right? Supposedly. But when you tell a Jehovah's Witness, hey, you know that your organization harbors, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but pedos. I say that, pedos. When you tell a Jehovah's Witness, hey, you know you guys have been involved with the United Nations, right? You guys had ties with them. You guys was allies with the UN. You tell Jehovah's Witness that, they say, oh no, that's apostate lies. You tell Jehovah's Witness to look at the Australian Royal Commission. And look what Jeffrey Jackson said, under oath. And you know what? I scratched my head because it's sad that Jehovah's Witnesses, I feel like majority of them, they have doubts, they have concerns. They know that this is not the same religion as it was back in the 80s and 90s. This is not the same religion. They know this. But everybody is too busy. Every Jehovah's Witness is too busy and too concerned about what the next person will think about them if they were to start to ask questions. And it's like, hold on. You care more about what people think about you? You care more about being labeled as an apostate? You care more about that than slaving and running on this hamster wheel for the rest of your life until the day you die? You care more about what people think about you than you wasting your life? You wasting your precious life away? You wasting your precious life should be way more important. You caring about your life should be way more important than caring about what the next person thinks about you. Oh, if I ask questions, people are going to label me as an apostate. If I tell people I have doubts, I may lose my community. So be it. So be it. Lose your community. You could always start a new life and make new friends. But the one thing you can't do, the one thing you can never do is get back time that has been lost, time that has been wasted slaving for this man-made organization. And it's sad that in the next 50 years, you're going to have people in their 30s, people in their 30s right now. In the next 50 years, they're going to be in their 80s. And eventually they're going to grow old. Well, in the 80s, they're already old, but they're going to be up there in age, and eventually they're going to pass away. That is the sad reality when it comes to Jehovah's Witnesses. They're all going to just grow old. They're going to keep lying to themselves. Oh, paradise is right around the corner, like they have been for the last, like I said, 150 years. They've been saying this. No one has bothered to stop and ask, hey, what if this is not the truth? If my mom is in it, my grandparents has been in it, my great-grandparents has been in it, and they all been told paradise is right around the corner, and they all passed away one by one, what makes me think that paradise really is right around the corner? That's the question that every Jehovah's Witness should be asking. But that's the question that they don't ask themselves because they don't want to be labeled as an apostate. They don't want to lose their community, so they keep their mouth shut. They keep running on this hamster wheel, keep going to the meetings, keep going out in service. They keep playing their part. They keep getting older, and before you know it, they grow old and die. And the one life that we have, they take it for granted. Because they blindly believe in a group of men that are not even inspired by God. They blindly listen to these men until they grow old and die. And that's the sad reality of Jehovah's Witnesses. That is something that has been going on for the last almost 150 years, and it's something that's going to continue to happen. People are going to grow, Jehovah's Witnesses, they're going to just grow old eventually and die. Their entire life wasted. Dreams put on pause, family put on pause. They keep having this mentality, oh, I'll just live my life in a new system. Everything I want to do now, I'll do it in a new system. The new system doesn't come. The only thing that comes is death. Death and taxes are the only two things that's guaranteed to all of us. We're all going to die one day. And while I was talking to this Jehovah's Witness, Mark Jackson, on YouTube, I said to him, literally, we're not going to be here in 50 to 100 years. Most of us, we're not going to be here. And he replied saying, oh yeah, we're not going to be here. You're not going to be here too. We're both going to be dead. Yeah, we're both going to be dead 100 years from now. But the difference is, Mark Jackson on YouTube, the difference is, when I die, I'm going to die real as fuck. I'm going to die being authentic. I'm going to die being my true, genuine self. When you die, you're just going to be another product of the Watchtower and Tract Society. You're just going to be another publisher that wasted their entire life slaving for a man-made organization. That's the difference when we die. I'm going to have no regrets when I die. You're going to have nothing but regrets when you die, because you, living as a Jehovah's Witness, you don't live the life that you want to live. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. I don't want no Jehovah's Witness to die believing in a lie. That's why I make these videos. I'm an ex-JW. If you're a Jehovah's Witness watching this video, I have nothing but love for you. Nothing but pure agape love for you. Unconditional love for you. Anyway, guys, I love you. I'll see you guys on the next one.